Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 74 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague, Justin. I'll go hand up already. Look, we had people ask us, there was no episode last week. That's on me. I can promise the people we will not let it happen again. You will not go a week without another Back 9 Six-Pack episode.
I came off my family outing. I was ready to go.
I was the opposite of ready
But
to go.
I gave you the option. I'm like, look, we cannot do this. Like, I want to do it, but like, I understand. Like, I've been in that headspace before. But you were like, no, let's take the week off.
It just got to late Sunday afternoon. I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. Had family stuff going on. Football stuff wasn't going great. And we were going to the Bengals game on Monday night. So I was like, okay, we're either doing it tonight when I don't feel like doing it, or we're going to push it to Tuesday. And I know we both weren't going to want to do that.
No.
So I was like, we're just going to call it for a week. So
Yep. But we're sorry.
We are sorry. Mainly me. I'll wear the blame for this one. But hey, thank you for listening now.
We're popping these two before we came on. I'd be remiss to say that, you know, Pete Rose just announced that he passed away tonight.
Yeah.
Look, the guy's flawed. We've talked. I think we've talked about it on here.
Yeah.
But he's our guy. Like, he's Cincinnati's kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I say this. I wanted to go on a little bit of a rant because, you know, anybody that knows me, what number ball do I play in golf?
14.
Yes.
You have your Cincinnati invented hustle shirt on.
Yeah, I changed shirts as soon as I came here. But he was our guy. And I'll tell you this, Joe Burrow is so popular in Cincinnati. Will never be as popular as Pete Rose in his prime. Ever.
Oh, no, probably not. There'll probably never be another athlete like that, honestly.
Never as popular as he was. Especially with people like, obviously we never saw him play, right? I was born in 90, you were born in 89. But like, if you talk to like our dads and stuff, like the guy was the Beatles, Michael Jackson, like just all wrapped in one in Cincinnati. But like I said, he's flawed, but he played the game the right way, and he's our guy. You know, he's definitely flawed. I don't want to sound like I'm passing that off, but he is. But he's like our crazy uncle. You know what I mean? He's family.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cincinnati's fiercely loyal to its people, and Pete Rose is truly one of us.
Yes,
in a lot of ways. So,
yep, epitomizes the city very well as far as like the hard work and the hustle and
punches above its weight.
Yep, 100%.
So,
yep.
R.I.P. to the Hit King for sure. No easy transition there. I don't even know where to go now. You threw me off with the Pete Rose thing. No, we're just going to announce it. It's out there. A lot of people already know this, but registration for the Turkey Open is officially live.
It is live. And as soon as it goes out and people start signing up, I get real excited.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's already signed up. But if you've not yet, try to make it easier for you this year. We're doing a Google form, so it's not relying upon texting Justin or me or whatever. We want to make sure we get everybody in, and we make it easier for our staff at the Elks as well, collecting GIN numbers along the way.
If you could please fill out the link.
Yeah, so even making it easier on you, I did a little updating to our website. If you just go to Back 9 Six-Pack, that's a number 9, 6 is spelled out, back9sixpack.com/Turkey Open. One word, no spaces, no hyphens, whatever.
Sign-up's right on there.
Yeah, form is embedded on the page. If you have questions, let us know, but everything is on the form, so I think you should be pretty good.
And now we start doing the please don't be 30 degrees.
Yeah, now we pray, honestly. We've been pretty lucky with weather, honestly, since we started doing this.
Makes me nervous how lucky we've been.
What is it, fifth
year?
Fifth year, look at that.
I know. I just got the plate, or I just ordered the plate for the last year's champion.
Shout out,
gosh, dude,
Fish and Keith.
Yeah, I'm just so like as soon as it goes live, I did that little hype video maybe. I'm so psyched. I don't want October to fly by because I really like October, but man, it's like it seems like it's within shouting distance now, and it's one of my favorite days of the year. So
yeah, so we'll real quick too for those that don't know, most of the people listening probably do, but if you don't, Turkey Open for us, we play it on Black Friday every year. It's a 2-man event, 18 holes. We do 3 6-hole formats: best ball, modified alternate shot, and scramble. So kind of like a mini,
Yeah.
McGonagall for us.
And so just so you know, and I haven't told you this yet, so I wanted to say it tonight. We are doing pari-mutuel betting this year. I've got a website, fingers crossed. I've kind of run some scenarios in it. Seems pretty easy. So we are going to do pari-mutuel betting.
Okay, possibly even bigger news. We're just going to break all the news. We are confirmed we're doing a 10 a.m. shotgun.
That's what it is right now. Yes.
Massive news. Because if you played
Weather
this before,
permitting.
there is a frost delay situation that comes and gets us every once in a while. Last year, we were finishing in the dark with
We had cars.
headlights on the greens.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we're able to get the shotgun in play and then, get everybody around in a similar time frame.
Yep.
Everybody finishes around the same time. Have a better, community feel to the event.
Yeah, instead of feeling like if you're the first ones off, you kind of wait around for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
We don't want that. So
No. So
that's the plan right now. Yep. Yeah. And then
small improvements along the way here.
Yeah. But pari-mutuels, I think it's going to be another awesome event. It always is awesome. It's just like you don't play golf for a while and then you just go play in a tournament where let's not sugarcoat it here. There's a lot of money on the line. It's a decent the winner gets a decent amount, and then you throw in if you win one of the formats. Not bad.
No.
Not a bad payout.
Maybe even more important to some of us, get to etch your name in the history books here.
Yeah,
get your name on a trophy.
Yeah, my name's not on it. Your name's not on it.
No.
There's a trinkle on there twice, which is disappointing. But
yep.
But hopefully, maybe this is one of our years.
Maybe
it might seem a little scummy winning our own tournament, but I think we've given everybody 4 years at this point.
Exactly.
It's like we got to take one eventually.
Yeah. We're going to take it down one of these years for sure.
Yeah.
Do you need to give your disclaimer to everybody?
Yeah. This is if there's only one rule with the sign up, other than go to the link, that's a new one this year.
Yeah.
If you sign up and you start looking at the weather, you're like, I just don't know if I want to play in 42-degree weather. And we still play. And you back out because you're like, I don't know if I want to play in 42-degree weather. You are banned for life. It is a lifetime ban. So when the next year it's 64 and you come up to me and say, hey, can I sign up this year? I'm going to tell you no. And unfortunately, your partner's drug into that with you. So maybe if you don't want to play, you maybe give your partner an opportunity to find a partner to fill in, but you will still be banned for life. So that is our only rule. We're going to get into the Ryder Cup here from a second, but this is specifically why I make this rule for this.
Yeah. If the golf course is open, we will be playing. That's all you need to know.
If the golf course is open and playable, we play golf.
Yeah.
Period. And if you drop out and it's playable and we play, you are banned for life. No exceptions.
Yes.
And that goes for even our closest friends. They would never do that.
Well,
maybe. And maybe one. But I don't think they'd ever do that. But if they did, they'd be in the same way. You're banned for life. Just is what it is. This is how we got to handle it.
Yeah.
Just because you're playing on a day, it's going to range from 35 to 55. It's not going to be better than that. We may get a 60-degree one year. Who knows? But most of the time it's going to fall in that temp range. Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't rain. But, it is what it is. But that's why we have that rule.
Absolutely. So again, if you're interested in playing the Turkey Open this year, please go to back96pack.com/Turkey Open. Fill out that form. Let us know if you have questions, but should be all self-explanatory. So.
Yep.
All right. Elks Ryder Cup. I know nothing. I did not play. I did not participate in any way. You were a captain of the red team?
Yes.
Okay.
Wes was the captain of the blue team. Helene decided to take a trip up here after completely ruining the South.
Yeah, honestly, that's pause there. Thoughts and prayers with everybody.
Yeah, seriously,
obviously,
yeah.
A ton of massive destruction across the country there. It's really tough to see. So.
Yeah, I just went to Kroger today and bought a ton of water and dropped it off at Matthew 23 and
25
or 25. Yeah, so I think they're taking truckloads of stuff down there. But if you can, they need everything. When I say roads or look, hurricanes on the coast, roads get knocked out. We're talking bridges that are like, there's just no way around them, right? You're in the mountains. Yeah. So, but after it rolled through there, rolled up here, we had some rain. Some calls to maybe cancel it on Friday. And I said, we're only supposed to get a quarter inch of rain tomorrow. Quarter inch to a half is what I saw. But it's spread out all day. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be, but there were some calls to cancel it on Friday. I said, let's wait. We haven't had a ton of rain here.
No,
I mean,
almost zero
we're
rain,
probably, I think
precisely.
I saw before that rain on Friday we're like 6 or 7 inches under
Oh, it's got to be.
norm, like what we need to be at to be considered not in a drought. Hey, it hasn't rained in like a month. Really, I think it rained on Monday a little bit, but that was about it. Waited till Saturday. Course was playable. That was my first question. I said, "Is the course playable?" It is, and it's not downpouring right now. Let's go. Like both captains agreed. Let's go play golf. You know, there's definitely some complaining going on. Not going to name names, but what I would say is, and goes for any tournament, right? Any tournament event, it's going to be played if the golf course is open. So you need to mentally prepare yourself to play in any kind of weather. Could be 90. Could be what we got on Saturday, rainy and 67. We got two of the rounds in. We got best ball in. We got alternate shot in. Unfortunately, we started looking at the radar and some like heavier, like it wasn't like super heavy, but it was like heavier than the stuff we'd gotten all day. Started coming down. We got 5 holes in, but we started getting standing waters on greens. It got bad, so we ended up calling it halfway through the singles matches. Ended up scratching the singles matches and taking the result from best ball and alternate shot. We lost by 2.
Gotcha.
So shout out to the blue team. They played some good golf. I will say most of the complaining was coming from the blue team, which I thought we were going to roll them. Like they're not mentally prepared for this. Maybe it was the captain's fault. I don't know. Maybe I didn't get my troops ready. I don't know.
Many people are saying you're the Zach Johnson of the Elks. Many people are saying that.
I tell you, we had our stalwart matchups, like people we put together, went out and did their jobs. I did not do my job. Unfortunately, we lost both of our matches, like 2-1 and 1 up. They just made a couple more putts than we did. I mean, really, it wasn't like anything crazy. Like they didn't hit the ball way better than us, anything like that. Wes got up and down from everywhere. It was, it was like, okay, we're gonna win this hole, and then he'd hit a bunker shot to like 4 inches. Like, okay, well maybe we're not winning this hole actually. But yeah, so our matchups that we actually even had a surprise. We put 2 guys together, like kind of sending them out there like lambs, just to. And they scored more points than I did. So, so shout out to them. But no, it was a good time. I mean, wish the weather was better. But so we do it for 3 years. You're captain for 3 years. So I've got 2 more years left of this. Yeah. It's always a good time. I love that format. It's so much fun to get out there and compete like that.
Oh, yeah.
Alternate shot is like it's even more modified. So we just tee off and then you pick one after that. So both tee off and then you pick and then go. So it makes it a little harder. Definitely, there's getting some sketchy situations. We gave away our first 2 holes in an alternate shot.
That'll happen.
Mostly my fault. So I apologize. I kept apologizing to Stein. I'm like, I need to be the foundation here, and I'm putting us in bad spots right now. So, but no, it was a good time.
2 more years. What you got any plan? Or you've already been? You had enough time to process and think this through, and what direction you want to take the team going forward.
Yeah, I mean, so I can tell you, there's definitely some teammates that were like, we did really good here. Now looking back, a couple of them, I'm like, maybe we can mix and match some here. But we did have like 3 or 4 that were like, okay, and they did their job. Those 3 or 4 scored most of our points on Saturday. So we did good there, but there's definitely some pairings that I think maybe we can do a little better on. We had a couple, unlike having 1 sacrificial lamb, we had a couple. So not great, but But no, I think that's the biggest thing. Because if you play in it this year, the next year you get an automatic in if you can play.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of the same people. Maybe 4 or 5 that might not be the same. So, but that's the plan. Yeah, we're maybe mix and match some of the pairings.
Well, I blame poor communication on me not being there. So
yeah.
Tough scenes all around.
They went pretty deep in the wait list. I can't believe
didn't even know there wasn't a wait. I didn't know there was a wait list.
It must have been pretty deep by the time you got to them, though. I mean, like I heard there was.
I wasn't even on it.
I know. I heard there was 9 on the wait list. So that means you were probably like 10 or 11. They made it like 5 or 6 into the wait list. So
tough. Well, maybe I'll be there next year. Who knows?
Yeah. But it was a good time. Always fun. Hopefully we can get back on top next year. It was definitely close. I think singles kind of asking people. It was kind of split down the middle, but it was a lot of like 1-ups, 1-downs. So, you never know what could have happened. I think it would have been pretty close had we played it out.
Probably.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, from your losing cup effort to a victorious President's Cup effort for the United States, I didn't get to watch much of this. Did you watch a ton?
I did. Yeah, I got a chance to watch a decent amount of it.
Yeah. Honestly, the most that I watched was I had it on in the background Friday while I was working, and it was the session the U.S. got 5-0 beat. So
yeah, I'll tell you this.
I saw much of their success, to put it
Yeah, Friday was it was kind of one of those things. It was like just like flashbacks to the Ryder Cup. Like, why are we so bad in this format? Like, why are we so bad in this format? It just doesn't make any sense.
No.
But I'll say the Canadian fans, a little disappointing the first couple days. Saturday they brought it. I mean, Saturday and Sunday they definitely brought it. There was some pretty good crowds, good energy. Maybe it helped that they made that little bit of a run there on Friday and got things tied back up. But I really thought the whole time, I'm like, dude, these are hockey fans. Like, these people it's going to be electric. I really thought it was going to be electric the whole time. Last 2 days were great. First 2 days, fans were meh.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough when you're starting an event on a Thursday like that,
Yeah, and I would guess not a ton of golf fans up there. I mean, golf in Canada is getting a lot bigger, but I don't think there's like a ton.
No.
And that could have something to do with it, maybe.
Plus, when your side's getting beat 5-0.
Yeah.
It's a little tough to be noisy,
I think that run on Friday probably helped the crowds on Saturday and Sunday, for sure.
All right, well, given the fact I didn't watch much of this, but I caught what I could, I figured we could just do a quick, we're going to do a little 6-pack of takeaways for the President's Cup.
Yeah.
I'll start us off.
Okay.
Number 6 for me is just that Siwoo Kim is a menace and a treasure.
Dude.
That guy.
The sleeper. I mean, I saw that happen on Saturday, and I loved every minute of it. I know it was he's got a good personality, though.
Yeah,
he really does.
He's a menace and a treasure. We need to protect Siwoo Kim.
And him explaining, he's like, it's because Steph Curry is my favorite NBA player. That's why he did it.
It's hilarious that it was to go make the match all square. It wasn't like they put it away. You don't do the night till it's
By the
game
way,
over.
he did that after in the morning he took his hat off when the ball was 4 feet out of the hole.
Yeah, I forgot about that sauce move too.
He was saucy all day.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Truly a menace.
I don't hate it. I really didn't. I think him and Sung J M were partners a lot. They were a good pairing. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, so that's my number 6, Siwoo Kim.
Okay, mine. Hold on, let me pull this up. All right, this should be higher, but it's because I don't like him. But Patrick Cantlay still has his dog in him. He is a killer when it comes to these team formats. An absolute stone cold killer.
Yeah, I didn't specifically call him out in my list, but I'll
4-1,
more about
4-1
him.
this week.
Yeah.
Made the putt on Saturday in the last match to force them to make, and they ended up winning that match. But still remains very this is my notes. Still not very likable outside of team events.
Yeah, correct. It's true. It's the only time you can root for him because you're not necessarily rooting for him, you're rooting for the team.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So that was my number 6.
All right, number 5 for me. This is more just like I said, this is a takeaway. I don't think there's any correlation between the President's Cup and the Ryder Cup. People talk about like it's Team USA and it's match play, and they're like using this to like build for. No, it's somewhat the same format because they play 4-ball and foursomes, whatever. They play more matches. You go an extra match deep on the first 2 days, and it's like that clearly gives the Americans an advantage because their worst players are way better. And I think this is like a show up and hit and giggle kind of thing for them, and they're just so good that they can just win. The international team hasn't won one of like the last 15 of these or something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's like 13-0-1.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that the U.S. team doing well in these has any effect.
No,
I
don't think though. But what I will say is, and I'll get to this here in a little bit on one of my points is, there were definitely signs that make you worry about next year.
Oh, I think there's always signs. There's always signs of that.
But I'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
My 5, we need a Captain Kiz sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's your boy.
It feels like he's that goofy guy that kind of keeps everybody relaxed, but like he has respect within the locker room too. And we've done the whole like Tom Watson thing, who's going to be like the not players guy, right? We've done all that, and we've gotten smoked. We need somebody, like, I know it sounds crazy, and it might go off the rails and be terrible. Like, but it's different. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And he, look, no Ryder Cup experience, but I just think it's so different that it's like, it could be good. You know what I mean? And I think,
maybe. I kind of feel like maybe he's just like, he's a good vice captain. Like
and that might be the case
just
too.
his role. Like
that might be the case too.
Role.
But he went tarps off on Sunday.
Yeah, and he brought the thing of beer in the background of them in
just
the presser.
Just a true gentleman.
Yeah, like you're a great vice captain, Kiz. That's what we need.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler calls him his lucky charm. That happened this week.
And there you go.
So that was my 5.
Okay. Here's where I'm going to start taking victory laps. Wyndham Clark robbed us of a Rory or a Ricky Major.
Yeah, you said that.
Definitive takeaway.
Yeah.
From this.
It's funny. He's part of my 4 as well.
That guy stinks, and I'm done with it.
So my 4 was, and this is exactly how I wrote it down, Wyndham is exactly who we thought he was.
Yep. That's basically
a bitch.
That. Dude.
Dude, the way he played this week, to go back and give, like, Seawood a sleeper, like, dude,
and he's getting
go
to it
sit
on
in the
social
corner,
media
man.
with Ben on and stuff. Like,
go sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't, like, if I played the way he did in that format, I'd be like, I'm excited. I'm not going to hit someone with the sleeper when I didn't even do anything.
And after the way he played at the Ryder Cup, too, like, take it away.
If he's not automatically qualified for the Ryder Cup, I am all for leaving him off. And I don't care if he's, like, the first one left off automatically. Like, keep him off our teams.
Totally agree. Number 3, I feel totally vindicated on Brian Harman.
Oh, yeah. He was terrible. Terrible.
He was 24 of 24 players in the strokes gain metrics.
Yeah, terrible. Gosh, he played. And he wasn't playing good this year.
Max stroke gain this week was 6th. And his record was 1-2 because he played with Brian Harman twice.
Yeah, that's probably. So, I noticed in those matches with Brian, or with Max, I'm like, this seems like a lot of Brian and not Max fucking this up. Like,
Brian Harman, Wyndham Clark have stolen so much joy from my golf fandom in the last, 2 years. And I can't take it anymore. Just get him out of here.
Dude, Brian stole a Tommy Fleetwood Open championship from us.
Or even if it could have been Rom was there too. Like, it could have been
anybody.
At least somebody. Like, man, that's just. And then they ended up on these teams because of this stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, get it out of here.
My 3, Tom Kim possibly has the thinnest skin in the world.
Yeah, my 2 is Tom Kim is worst place.
I mean, look, if you're going to come out and do that, you can't go to the presser on Saturday night and be like, well, I was getting feisty and people were saying mean things to me. Like, you can't act that way the entire week and last year, or 2 years ago, and then be like, well, people are being mean to me. Well, you if you lay low and just like fist pump, whatever. But if you're gonna talk the shit, like you got to know it's coming back.
Yeah. And this was after he complained about the fans on Thursday as they got beat 5-0.
Yeah.
No, dog.
Yeah.
And then they went 5-0 with you sitting on the bench on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your sign.
Yeah.
And this goes back to, we talked about this a little bit during the Full Swing episode recap thing. His episode stunk. Everything about it, I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah. Now, in hindsight, I agree with you.
So I'm saying I'm taking victory laps right now is what I'm doing. So
These are all victory laps.
Yeah, that's another one. Tom Kim's the worst. There you
go. My two, Keegan getting the final point in this President's Cup was the final dagger into ZJ. and the whole, full swing thing, like, complete vindication. Like, and he didn't play bad this week. Like, he played pretty good. He went 2-1. Really well. But man, it just felt like all the bad stuff that happened in that full swing and everybody feeling bad for him was like, hell yeah. That, like, it was a feel good moment, I think, for a lot of American fans.
Oh, for sure. No doubt. And especially him going into the captaincy next year.
Good feelings.
I mean, he's already said he's not going to pick himself, but if he qualifies, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Playing Captain Keegan would be wild.
It'd be awesome. It'd be kind of awesome, not going to lie.
Yeah. I might be coming around,
On Keegan?
Yeah.
I've already come around.
We'll see.
I used to not like him, but I'm full Keegan fan club now.
Yeah. Number one for me, and I think I sent you guys a couple Wolverine memes of this. I need Spieth and JT back.
I'll tell you this: take Wyndham and Brian off, and it'd have been nice.
Obviously,
I'm not gonna lie.
Spieth having the surgery. I know. Hopefully, he gets well, and
I think if he made this team, I don't think he would have had his surgery yet.
Probably not, and I wouldn't want to see him. I'd rather him get the surgery. And
100%. Yeah.
My point is, you were talking about Patrick Cantlay being a dog and stuff. Like, those things are true, but it's like, I have such a hard time rooting for these teams when it's like Xander and Cantlay are the best players.
I know. And those two guys are the best players this week.
And even Scott, like, obviously Scotty's stupid good, but like, he's been a little shaky in the team events.
He has. By the way, how are we going to go this whole thing and not talk about his chip in?
Oh, because he lost the hit.
I know, but it was what a start.
Dunk
dude.
on the first hole.
What a start.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, like, when it's JT and Spieth out there doing their thing, and
it like, feels better.
Yeah, they're just so much more.
It feels
magnetic.
like America.
It does.
I don't know.
It just does. So yeah, I put the picture of the two of them celebrating or whatever at one of the President's Cups and the Wolverine looking at the picture meme. Sent it to you guys. I need them back in the events.
I think with how electric the President's Cup ended up getting this year, having them involved in that Saturday would have been awesome. It would have been pretty awesome.
I think JT is like, he is like the good version of all this like stupid antics. Like, he's the only person that knows how to do it right.
Yep, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
So just bring my guys back.
Yep. Oh yeah. I don't hate that. My last one, we're toast next year.
Oh boy,
we are toast.
Doom and gloom already.
I say that in kind of feeling like Wyndham's gonna probably qualify automatically. He's going to be on the team. That's going to make me sad. I really hope Jordan and Justin turn around just so there's like no question about it. Like, they're going to be on the team. I think that will be a good start. But like right now, like how we played in Alt Shot terrifies me how badly we could actually get beaten on home soil.
Yeah. I mean, the home soil thing's a big key for them.
And maybe something gets figured out with the whole live thing before they pick teams next year. Maybe. And that would definitely help us more than it help them, for sure. I mean, Rom's probably going to be on the team regardless.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can still you can pick live players for this, but they're not going to really.
You can, but I'm talking about like automatically qualifying things like that. Like, unfortunately, a lot of people have strong feelings about Bryson. Chances are, it doesn't seem like his train's slowing down any. Like, he's going to be out there. Like,
he might qualify. Brooks qualified 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah. So if he wins another major this year, and maybe plays well in the other 2 or 3, maybe he automatically qualifies just on that. But like getting a Bryson and a Brooks, I know Brooks was on it last year, but like a Bryson and Brooks, like it's just gonna feel better. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. But the signs that I saw this past week with the old shot, going 0-5, it's just like that. Like they don't have the runway with the Europeans that they do with the international team. They don't have the drastic head-to-head advantages against the Europeans like they did. So, like, having that happen one day and that is like, okay, whatever. But having that happen in a Ryder Cup, obviously they can't go 0-5, but 0-4, it'd be tough to come back from.
Yeah. And, I mean, I know it doesn't work out this way because it never does. We always seem to have, like, quote-unquote, the most talent. But to your point, if you – JT, Jordan, Brooks, Bryson replaces Harmon, Clark, Finau, Burns, right? Like that is such a gap, like tier-wise.
Yes.
On those last 4 guys that like it should make a big difference.
I mean, like what happened at Whistling Straits, right? Like we had all of our dogs out there.
Yeah.
And we smoked them.
Exactly. So
that's my hope. Those guys just have to start playing better. They just have to start playing better.
100%. Yeah, you got to make it, no doubt.
So like it starts with Jordan and Justin. Like if they play better, automatically qualify for the team. I feel like it's just going to set a pace for that team going into the Ryder Cup next year. But right now, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about us losing one on home soil.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. The way Rome went down and just how we have question marks around so many of these guys that look like they were the future. Yeah, totally. I get it.
And it's like you get your Cantlays and your Xanders out there, and it's like, guys that you're like, oh, they're going to be on the back end of most of these teams. They're probably 2 of our best players,
Well, I mean, Xander's leveled up beyond to where, he's like a clear number 2.
But Cantlay's kind of making his, I guess, his stance of like he's really good in these team formats, like really, really, really good. Which look at Ian Poulter. Ian Poulter played in like 4 that he didn't automatically qualify for. 3 of them he like was playing bad the entire year, and they're like, we got to take him,
right?
Just because he's so good in this format and he comes out and plays good. So Cantlay's starting to look like that kind of guy. It's like, man, look at his record. You can't really leave him off. You know what I mean? No.
No. All right. Well, Ryder Cup year next year. It's always makes the year a little bit,
it's going to be
a little bit sweeter every year.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now we are on to football. Been a while since we talked. And
I have the most mediocre picks in the world?
Yeah, we'll skip the Bengals and Packers talk radio section and just dive into the draft update. Yeah, you have no team with a winning record yet. You are overall 9-14 with the Dolphins playing the Titans tonight. Last I checked, they were losing. I am 14-9 with the Lions playing tonight, and they were winning when I walked in here. So
the Jaguars are just sad.
Yeah, I think that's tough. At least, I've got the Bengals at 1-3. At least it feels like, they have some hope. The Jaguars,
just think about it. Like if they're 2-2, I'm 11-12. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or if the Niners and Ravens were playing more up to what they thought.
It seems like the Ravens are starting to get there
after last night. Yeah.
49ers, in hindsight, I'm like they've lost some guys. Might have not been a best pick. Like it's not the same team from last year. Purdy's, we all know I felt about Brock Purdy. So
I mean, they've had the injury bug early, right? Obviously, everything.
Yeah,
going on
they've
with
got some guys
McCaffrey.
hurt. Yeah, I mean that probably doesn't help.
Ayuk sat out like all of camp, so he's been slow to start. Hey,
yeah,
look, I got the Chiefs in here at 4-0. Not that I'm worried about the Chiefs because whatever, take them away is fine. For the purpose of this, though, I am worried. Just their injuries are mounting up. They've lost Pacheco. Looks like Rice might be out.
Yeah, I mean Rice should have been out, but.
Correct.
He's out to injury now.
Yeah. So
sounds like for the year too. It was an ACL.
Yeah. So that could be interesting to see going forward. They'll probably still find a way. It's whatever. Look, Texans, I talked a lot of shit about the Texans, but I took them because I thought they'd have a good record. They look fine.
Yeah.
Kind of what you thought they'd be.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of kicking myself now, sitting here today. The Cowboys over the Bills. AFC East looks still bad.
Oh my! And now it's like it's everybody but the Bills looks terrible.
Right. Yeah, the Jets losing sadly to the Broncos yesterday. Oh, that was
and then now like Miami tonight's losing to the Titans. The Titans are terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
So I don't know. We'll see. It's I've gotten lucky with having the Chiefs and Texans kind of versus.
Yeah, that helps.
Your team's at the top been a little slower out. The Packers 2-2. Jordan Love.
Yeah. He played yesterday. Probably shouldn't have played yesterday.
He looked like he was a guy that was coming back from.
I mean, he looked like I would love to say he looked like he was 80%. He looked like he was 60%.
Yeah, didn't look right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Right now, got a little five game lead. Feels good. Hopefully, I can pick up another one tonight. But
yeah. I mean, I think there's 2 Monday night games. We talked about that before.
Yeah, I need a week where we don't have someone playing Monday night. It hasn't happened yet. So we can get like an official, like, these are the standings this week. We don't have that yet.
Yeah, and the problem, I don't get the 2 Monday night game thing. I don't know.
I said it to you walking in. I kind of wish they would do 2, like a Monday night doubleheader, but like space them out a little bit more so you get one
you
starts
get a West Coast game or something like that starts at 9 or something like that.
Yeah, and then honestly Thursday night games are so bad and like teams get
usually
so hurt.
Yeah, usually the Thursday night games there's not a good matchup. I mean, every once in a while you get a good matchup. But
honestly, the matchups have been better, but I just think it's way too soon to be playing an NFL football.
Yeah, 5 days later.
4 days later.
Or yeah, really 4. Yeah. You're playing on your 5th day.
Yeah, they look like they played 4 days ago and they're still beat up. So.
Those games typically look a little rusty. You know what I mean? Like they just like guys are not fresh. They look a little slower.
Yeah, just it's fine. I mean, look, I'm not going to complain about football, but
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of our update. Their quarter season check-in. We'll start with your Packers. They're 2-2. A little bit of obviously the Love injury kind of put a damper on things early, but Malik Willis filled that gap. Thank God the way that he did. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Like I know yesterday got off to a rough start, like really rough. But dude, I'm telling you, their defense, not bad. I mean,
got some
like they gave up 28 points, but literally 2 of those touchdowns, the Vikings started inside like the 30-yard line of the Packers because of turnovers.
Yeah.
I don't worry. Yeah, I mean they lead the league in interceptions. They've got some serious ball hogs, and then they even Jair Alexander was out yesterday. That's their best cover corner. He's out. They still have 2 picks. Like that defense is. They can stay healthy. They like the reason they won games with Malik Willis is he didn't turn the ball over, that's like your main goal as a backup quarterback, right? Come in, manage the game, lean on your run game, defense. I mean, their defense won them the first couple games. Like Malik Willis did just enough, and the defense held teams to 17 points. Like you get an NFL quarterback with a good run game, they're going to score more than 17 points. So their defense is encouraging because no snow when Aaron Rodgers was here. That was like the one area. It was like they're drafting all these first rounders on the defense side of the ball, and they're trash. But I truly believe that this year they just have a better defensive coordinator. Maybe running a little bit better scheme, getting guys in positions to make plays that they're built to make. But I'm encouraged. I mean, like right now, if you like after the Eagles game, I was guessing they'd be like 1-3 right now. So being 2-2 to me is a win.
Yeah.
So
the only tough part is the looking up at the 4-0 Vikings.
Yeah, but I think we saw some possible chinks in their armor. I mean, they got off to a quick start. Packers had a couple turnovers. They scored 6 points in the back half of the second quarter, all the way through the second half. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold, like it's crazy. Like you watch him and look, it's a great story, but like he doesn't like make throws that you're like, whoa, God, look at that throw. But maybe it's the offense they run. Like it's like Brock Purdy, right? Like he doesn't have to make those throws. And he's got so many good wide receivers. But I think we might have seen some chinks in their armor yesterday, possibly with okay, when the defense bears down, they might struggle to score. Their offensive line's a little iffy, but their defense is still pretty good. I mean, right. I think that they have a good enough defense. If Sam Darnold has a bad game, they can still win because their defense is good. So, but yeah, they're 4-0. But I could see that. I could see them being a team get to 5-0, and then they go on a little skid, 2-game skid, 3-game skid, and it's possible. Now you're 5-3. Now it's doesn't look as daunting looking up at them. So,
yep. And then the Lions potentially going to 3-1 tonight. We don't know about that. And then the Bears.
They're not terrible.
Has looked awesome. They got a good defense.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
Caleb Williams seems to be maybe progressing a little bit here.
That's what I said. Yeah. I was I thought with them, it's their offense in week 17 is going to be a lot better than it is in the first 4 weeks. Just because
I think so too.
He's going to learn, right? And he's going to have some games where he's going to be really good, and he's going to have some games where it's not very good. So, but
yeah, kind of.
I think that division's a lot better than people imagined it would be. Probably.
I think a lot of people thought it would be one of the tougher ones, but I think the surprise of the Vikings is taking it to a different level.
Yeah, and then the Bears being not as bad as we thought they'd be.
Yeah, I mean there were people that thought the Bears might win the division, which was wild.
That's absolutely nonsense. Yeah. First off, you got to beat the Packers before you can win the division.
Yeah,
they haven't done that in a while.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Drive-bys on Bears fans right now.
Yeah, take it while you can get it, I guess. The Bengals 1-3.
They're off the snide.
Got off the snide. Got off the mat. If they had lost to the Andy Dalton led Panthers, I would have been. Oh,
their season's over.
My soul would have left my body. I would have ceased to exist. So they saved the season with a win there, at least from that perspective.
Doesn't get much easier after this, though.
No, they got Ravens coming to town this weekend.
It's kind of crazy. They went 1-3 in their easy stretch.
Theoretically.
But the Commanders look like a absolute...
They look like a freaking wrecking crew now.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they do.
Jaden Daniels has 4 completions in his last 2 games, or incompletions in his last 2 games. I don't know. That it could be one of those where you look back on it and that start doesn't seem as bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots are going to stink. We know that. But they've been competitive almost in every game. Their loss to the Chiefs at home on a last-second thing. Give one away to the Commanders, but maybe the Commanders are a playoff team all of a sudden.
Yeah, they kind of look like a
so I don't know what
contender.
To make. Honestly, I don't know what to make of it. The one thing I do know is this defense is either Patrick Mahomes stinks or Lou Anarumo has his number somehow because that's the only game they've looked confident in.
That actually there might be something to that because, Lou's been there for those games, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things when you know teams, right? When you know someone's tendencies, you know someone's tendencies. If you look at the games they struggled in, it's the Patriots don't play them much. They have Jacoby Brissett back there who was on the Commanders last year. So you don't have a lot of tendencies on film. You got a new coach. Same way with Commanders. You didn't have a ton. I mean, you kind of know what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do. You know what his offensive philosophy is. But if you look at the games they struggled in, it's just teams that they just didn't have a lot. So he genuinely might have just the rundown on what the Chiefs want to do, and he's just he's got a good plan for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem that they're facing right now is the defensive line. One, the health is out the window. Both the starting tackles are out. Hendrickson yesterday looks like he hurt his neck. I don't know how serious that was, but he might be out.
Look awesome.
But. Respect to Sam Hubbard in his career, but my guy cannot be a starter anymore.
No, he's just got to be someone that comes off the bench, give people blows. I mean,
I saw a stat from the Monday night game against the Commanders where he was an average of 6 yards away from Jaden Daniels across the course of the evening. Never even sniffed being in the backfield close enough. Trey is the entire defensive line as it currently stands.
Pretty much, yeah. But I can tell you, I agree with you on the Hubbard thing, but Lou did not have his best game on Monday night.
Heck no. And dude,
oh my gosh. I just still could not get over. We're sitting up there and it's like, you got a 3rd and 14, give them the field goal, right? Drop people back. There should, get it, everything's underneath. Let them throw a screen pass. No, what does Lou do? This is finally the time that we were kind of like, maybe like put a little pressure on, like make them make quicker decisions. He does it on 3rd and 14 when you're trying to get a stop. You're trying to make them kick a longer field goal. Then they get it to 4th and 4, and guess what? They're going for it. You know what I mean? It was like you did an all-out blitz on something where it's like it wasn't the time for it. It wasn't. They were going to do something quick, try to get 5 yards, make the field goal a little more manageable. Said you gave them 11 yards, and then they went for it and got it. So it wasn't his best game either. So I don't know. The defense is worrisome.
Yeah, I haven't said much definitive here. The problem is, the last 3 years especially, it's like you spend these first few weeks just being frustrated as hell about everything, about the offense, about the defense, about all this shit. And then now they're going to come out Sunday and they'll probably end up beating the Ravens, and then everything.
Well, this is the test, right? Like this is put all the chips on the table. But it truly feels like this is a game where Joe Burrow is going to have to go out and outscore Baltimore. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And then there's going to be a lot of games like this this year. I've seen Packers teams like that with Aaron Rodgers and defense sucks, and you're like, all right, Aaron, go out and score 35 tonight, or we don't have a chance, and it might be one of those seasons where it's like Joe's got to go out, and the games they score 35 in, they're going to win. The games they score 27 in, they're going to lose. I mean, it very well might be the season. That's how it's going to go.
I mean, some encouraging signs, like they're using Chase Brown more.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. I think their offense can do that every single game. Yeah. It's just that's when you have to do it. It's one thing. When it's like you just do it and your defense is playing well, that's a whole nother. That kind of relieves the pressure a little bit.
Yeah. Basically, long story short, I think I need to practice patience until they give me a reason not to.
And it might be this week.
Yeah, it could be. This could be the season where all the bottom falls out.
If they go out and get boat race,
if they get
this weekend,
done what Buffalo just did to them,
it might be the season might be over at that point. I just think it'd be really hard to come back from 1-4.
Absolutely.
With a loss in the head-to-head and stuff like that.
100%. So, all right. Well, no fan mail tonight, so I think we're just going straight to the patio.
I'll let you go first.
All right. I shout out to Susie on this one. This is one of those, like, we're eating dinner. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have a patio beers question. What do you got for me? She made a good point. Since the last time we had an episode, it has officially become fall, technically speaking, in terms of dates on the calendar. But to me, fall is kind of more like a vibe. Or a feeling.
It is. Yeah.
So what is the thing that makes you sit down and be like, all right, it's fall? Like, what is that thing?
I think it's the first time I'm like, make chili.
See, Susie did. She was like, for me, it's when football is on and I have a pot of chili on the stove.
Yeah. I think it's like the first time I can tell you this. I got the ingredients at my house for the first go around of chili this weekend.
You're just waiting for the right time.
I think it's going to be this weekend. It's only supposed to be like 70. It's going to be good weather. I'm like, this might be it. That's the first, like when Saturday afternoon got chili on. That's when it's like, okay, I'm about to sit down and watch 7 hours of 8 hours of college football.
Yeah,
not a bad feeling.
No, not at all. For me, and this hasn't happened yet. Maybe it has happened for some people, but I might need to get outside and touch grass. I don't know. For me, it's the smell of the leaves. Yeah,
and we're getting like an earlier. So look, I know I'm an amateur weatherman. I am not an arborist, but I've read some things that because of the drought we went through, we're going to get a little early color change going on here, which probably leads to earlier leaves on the ground, which is that I think that smell you're talking about.
Once the leaves hit a certain like saturation point, like there's enough of them, and then maybe you get a little rain that like for whatever reason kind of brings out the smell even more.
Yeah,
it's like that wet kind of like trail smell is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's when I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we got a faux fall going right now, especially after the 60-mile-an-hour winds we had on
knocked
Friday.
all the shit out of the trees.
Yeah. But no, I know that smell you're talking about. That is a good smell.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, okay, it's fall. It's just in the air feeling.
Yeah,
that's what fall is.
Yeah.
You just know it when you feel.
But definitely like the cooler mornings. Like we've had some cooler mornings recently, and there's nothing better. Like I wear pants to work every once in a while, but most of the time, like if I don't have any like meetings going on, I wear shorts. But it's so nice to be like hoodie, shorts. Down at the bus stop, or I'm like, it's such a good feeling to just like have a hoodie.
For sure. Yeah. The best weather is clearly shorts and like a thin like pullover hoodie weather. I got yesterday I cleaned out my closet. I got all my like I keep a couple thinner ones out for the summer just in case, because we every once in a while we'll get like a 65-degree morning or something like that. But now all my hoodies are out. Like they're all hung up, like ready to go. I've got way too many. So next up is the hoodie clean out after the
No, I don't know if I can get to that point yet.
No, I don't think you can.
One thing at a time. We got one addiction at a time.
You got to mourn the loss of your polos first.
Yeah.
All right.
So I had a work meeting, about a week and a half ago.
Wow.
Go to a coffee shop, and I just willy-nilly went up. I got an iced coffee or iced latte, whatever. Guy I'm meeting was like, "Oh man, this is not iced coffee season." I'm like, but then it brought up a good conversation. Like, what is that like? Where do you draw the line where you go from iced to hot? Or is it kind of like a transitional period? Like some days it's iced, some days it's hot, and then it just goes straight to hot? Like later on? Like what is your transition period for iced and hot coffee?
It's a good question. This to me is kind of like the fall thing. It's a feeling, right? Like you just kind of know.
Yeah.
I don't have like a hard rule about this. I will say a couple things though. Like sometimes even outside of ice season, I'll go to the ice. It's like I need this in my system as fast as possible.
Yeah, and you can't drink hot coffee or hot latte very fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ice is just like what you need for the quick hit.
Yep.
I do think it aligns kind of with that fall. When the fall hits, it's kind of like just the cozy weather season.
Yeah,
is when you want the hot in the morning. I go as far as like I'm kind of seasonal with my flavors. Even do a little bit of like right now I'm in kind of like a caramel phase. But like
I never get like flavored lattes. It's just like straight espresso and oat milk. And that's it.
I will say right now the pecan crunch one at Starbucks, pretty good.
That does sound
cut back on the pumps though. You don't need that many pumps in it. It's like 5 pumps in a venti.
Yeah, that's insane.
But it's good.
Like just go ahead and give me diabetes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad enough. But yeah, I'll mix up the flavors here and there. Do that kind of thing.
I've never gotten into the flavors.
I'll say coming out of the winter, so this is very much just like it is when you're like trying to put shorts on for the first time or whatever, right? Like you're gonna have like a false start. You're gonna think you're ready for iced coffee, and you're not ready for iced coffee.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if I had to put a thing on it, I'd probably say October is when you transition from cold or iced coffee into hot coffee, like officially. You can go in October.
Okay.
Like mid-October. You're approaching Halloween. And then you don't go to ice until April.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I have transitional periods, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, depending on the day, it could be hot. It could be cold. It could be iced.
Yeah.
Like the day we met, we were sitting outside on the patio. I'm going to give a free shout out to them because it's like a nonprofit. Karis Coffee right around the corner here. Mm-hmm. We're sitting on their back patio, and it was like 75 degrees. I'm like, I don't really want to pound a hot coffee. And we're kind of sitting in the sun. Just didn't feel right. But like this past Thursday, it got a little cloudy. I got a hot latte.
Yeah, it's a mood thing. I know.
You know what I mean?
You
so like right now, like it just depending on the day and the weather, like I could go back and forth.
Yeah.
I think that it goes up until probably a little before Halloween, because I do think we kind of hit a point in like mid-October where it's like, all right, it's not getting above 65.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like my rule is kind of like 70 degrees. That's where I'm like, I'm still probably an ice guy. But like if it gets below that or like a really chilly morning, it's probably going to be hot. you know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I think it's like me, iced is a little bit later. Like when I go from hot to iced, it probably happens in like May.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Once that transition period's like into April, beginning of May.
Yeah. I always get tricked in that, like, we have those fits and starts of spring in April, and it's like, oh, shorts are coming out. I'm getting a nice latte or whatever. And then it's like, damn it, this is the wrong decision.
Yeah.
And it reverts back on you. But yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good time.
It's so funny. I saw there's like a page on Instagram. It's called like Midwest or something like that. Midwest culture or something like that.
Yeah.
They posted a meme, and it's like the stages of the seasons, right? Like from like spring to summer to fall. And like 2 weeks ago, we had like 95-degree weather. I'm like, and in the meme, is like you are here. It was like second summer.
Yeah,
you get the faux fall into second summer, and then finally, I think we're kind of working our way into fall weather here.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny how that I feel like for as long as I can remember, we've always had that like second burst of like 2 weeks where it's middle September, end of September, we're 90-something degrees out.
Yeah. 100%.
And then it's just like, boom, 70, or 65, like just like that. So,
and then you're like, oh, hoodies, everything. And then all of a sudden you get that 2 weeks, the second or third summer comes back on you.
Yeah, that Indian summer that lands in like the second week of October. That's always fun, hitting 90 in October. So, but yeah, no, that's kind of my transition. But it brought up a good conversation because one guy like went straight to hot, and I'm like, it's September. I'm like,
See, I don't think these people are right, but I do respect the people that are committed to one lane.
Like, hey, it's after Labor Day, I'm back to hot.
No,
you know what I mean?
There are people that are like definitively year-round hot or year-round cold.
I do know a couple people,
and I respect those people.
I'll say this, in the winter, every once in a while, like not even just like what you were saying to drink it fast, like I just drink so much hot. And it's the same way in the summer. Like I'm just drinking so much iced coffee. I would consider myself old school when it comes to coffee, where I'm like, every once in a while, I'm like, I just want a hot coffee. You know what I mean? Like I want something that feels like I'm like drinking some caffeine. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the ice stuff, I'm like, is there really caffeine in here? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if you get a black coffee, you're like, I'm definitely getting something out of this. Like,
sure.
Because I drink my coffee black, like lattes, things like that, whatever. But like coffee, black. Yeah, nothing in it, and I don't do that to be a hardo. Like I've never liked half and half. I've never been like a huge milk guy, so it's just like, Now you've gotten me on oat milk, so
that's the other thing with this that pecan crunch latte. It's oat milk too. It's like made.
Oh God, man, I might have to get one of those.
You're gonna have to. I'm telling you.
I really, really might have to get one of those. Damn. Okay.
You're welcome.
That might be tomorrow.
Good. All right. I think that'll do it for episode 74. Triumphant return.
It feels good to be back. I don't like missing weeks. It feels like I get out of a schedule.
Yeah, it does. It fees all.
Doesn't
we
feel
come
right.
back. I can't like quite. It fits and starts with the season. Fits and starts with the episode. Like whenever we take a week off like that. It doesn't happen often, but we do the best of patio beers in the.
But it was weird, like when I woke up on Tuesday after we went to the game, like it felt like Wednesday or Thursday because I'm like, I didn't do the podcast tonight, last night or whatever. So
that it becomes part, podcasts, both recording it and like listening part is really a habit. And we didn't have the record, or we like to listen back to them just to kind of quality control ourselves, but yeah, so like not having it to listen to or record was like a major break. Like it really wrecked my week.
It did. Oh yeah, I was kind of thrown off like what day it was and things like that.
Plus the Monday nighter, it was
the Monday night felt like an extension of the weekend. Like it was off the whole week.
So anyway, we're back. We'll be back next week. Again, please go check out the website back96pack.com/turkey open if you want to get signed up for that. I would recommend doing it soon. I don't know if we will get capped, but there will be a point where we will be capped. Yeah, I'm going to guess. I would say our cap's probably going to be like 48 people, which would be 24 teams. Yeah. That'll be 4 more teams than we had last year. At this point, I feel like that might be a soft cap on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, if we get enough people in there early, maybe we can kind of force the issue. Yeah, but right now I would say
taking up 12 holes just for pace of play purposes is probably the cap right now.
Fuck it. I want 30 teams. That's my goal. I'd rather have to tell somebody no than be begging people to play.
But sign up sooner rather than later. It honestly helps us too, just so we can start, making scoreboards and stuff like that. Like the sooner we can start on that, the better.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think we said this outwardly, but yes, this is a handicapped event, so please don't shy away, if you're worried about playing straight up against people that you think are better than you.
Yeah. It's not straight up. It's definitely handicapped.
You will get pops on the best ball. There's formulas to calculate your and your partner's handicap for scramble and alt shot, so you will get some help.
But if you don't have a handicap and, look, we got to play you as a 0, but if you're just out there for the vibes and, get out there the day after, Thanksgiving and work off some of that turkey, playing some golf.
Yeah.
I don't hate that either. We had a couple groups like that last year, so they were just out there for the vibes, which I don't hate.
Absolutely. Everything's for the vibes, always.
Yeah, always.
All right, thank you for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack, and get signed up for the Turkey Open. Till next time, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 6-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 6-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.